On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on. A blessed and wonderful Thursday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now me peeps, you don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So now the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. The troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled Westmoreland Police Division has been rocked yet again with another mass shooting. Yeah man, may I tell you. Now, the parish of Westmoreland have seen other mass knockings and clappings in that parish. In fact, 3 separate ones since the start of the year. The first one earlier this year, where 5 individuals were conned up and seriously wounded at a party on Barracks Road in Savannah Lamar. And that knockings and clappings was followed by another incident where 4 people get conned up and injured outside a bar on Valentine's Day. And now in the wee hours of yesterday morning, this bar presently on your screen, known as the Pixie Dust Bar, marks the spot where 7 persons get conned up and 3 out of that 7 fatally so. Yeah man. Now this mass knockings and clappings at a bar. The bar is in the community of Frome in Westmoreland, and it took place, as I stated earlier, early Wednesday morning. That particular knockings and clappings left 3 people lifeless, no longer among the land of the living, and 4 others seriously wounded. The deceased men have since been identified as 65-year-old Evrol, said to be a shop owner and a broom maker from a Frome address. And also this man presently on your screen identified as Kemar Smith, otherwise called Beenie Bud. And this man presently on your screen identified as Andre McDonald, both of Gully Banks in Savannah Lamar. Now 2 women, including the bartender, are also among the wounded. Now it is reported that patrons were at the Pixie Dust Bar along the Frome main road when about sometime after midnight, but closer to 1 a.m., a white Toyota Axio motor car drove up and stopped. It is said that 2 armed men alighted from that motor vehicle and opened gunfire indiscriminately so in the directions of the patrons. 7 persons get conned up, but the old man, Mr. Rowe, Smith and McDonald, later succumbed to their injuries at the hospital. The other victims are still being treated. One is considered to be very, very serious, hanging on to their life by a thread. It is said that he was conned up in the neck and abdomen, so his condition is presently noted as serious. Now this ongoing gang violence in the parish of Westmoreland and right across the length and breadth of Jamaica is really, really sad. And that is the reason why I am so disheartened to see our Jamaican people hanging out the windows of cars and buses, going to cheer on their favorite politicians, whilst their family members, their friends, their community members continue to live in fear, and many lose their life along the wayside by the hands of known criminal elements wreaking havoc in our communities. So this just leaves me to wonder, what is more important to you? Going to cast your vote for your favorite politician, or would you rather have peace and tranquility in your communities? And I'm not saying that you're not supposed to go and vote, because everyone has the right to decide which political party they see fit enough to run this country. But we're having a crime problem. And the problem of crime is not a PNP problem or a JLP problem. The crime problem that has crippled Jamaica right across the length and breadth is a Jamaica problem, which simply means it affects each and every one of us, whether directly or indirectly so. So don't think for 1 minute that because it has not come knocking on your door in the terms of you losing a family member or a friend, it doesn't affect you. If you have a business, it affects you. Whatsoever the type of business it is, crime affects everyone, but differently. But it affects everyone nonetheless. I would have loved if I've seen all the persons go on those transportations and go to the polling stations and protest against crime in our communities, and let these politicians know that, hey, we will not cast a ballot until you address this pressing issue, and not just by talk but by action. But the sad thing is, my peeps, that most of us really do love the toxic environment that we are living in, until someone very close and dear to us fall victim to the hands of gun violence. Sad to say, my peeps, but anyway, make we continue. Now, one of the man that lost his life is said to be a so-called dancehall artist. And I said this because he's really sketchy, just because of the name and who he affiliates with. He goes by the dancehall name as Broski Rebel. Now, from here, the term rebel, that is most definitely associated with a criminal gang from out of Flankers Mobay, known as the Rebel Side Gang, whose gang leader is also a so-called dancehall artist identified as Baphomet Rebel, but for short them call him Bafo Rebel. Now, from my experience on this earth and living in Jamaica, once you associate yourself with a certain kind, labeling yourself as a part of that criminal organization by giving yourself the name Broski Rebel, that says a lot about you. And I will most definitely be doing some digging into this controversial figure, Broski Rebel, to seek to understand if he was the intended target. Because obviously, Evrol definitely wasn't. And I'm not for sure about the personality of Beenie Bud either. So I will most definitely be checking out the two younger males that fell victim to that brutal slaying in Frome, Westmoreland. Yeah, man. So anyway, make we continue. Now over there in the parish of Trelawny, this little boy presently on your screen, identified as 2-year-old at the time, Adrian Campbel. He's of a Clarkstown address in the parish of Trelawny. Now on March 12 in 2023, an incident took place where a family get caught up and this 2-year-old fell victim to that knockings and clappings. The 2-year-old get caught up and lost his life to the hands of criminal elements. Now the criminal element that was caught by the police and placed before the courts, a criminal identified as 20 years old Anthony Finley, is to be sentenced for the crime. Anthony Finley pleaded guilty to the charges of the knockings and clappings that took the life of 2-year-old Adrian Campbel in March of last year. He was charged with knockings and clappings with intent and making use of a firearm to commit a felony in relation to the knockings and clappings that took the life of Adrian Campbell. Now, for those who forgot about that particular incident, it took place around 7:50 p.m. on March 12. The child was seated in the back of a car whilst the owner of the vehicle was in the driver's seat. Finley was armed with a handgun. It is said that he walked up to the driver's window and fired at the man with whom he had a dispute. But the man, the driver of the vehicle that is, drove off, resulting in the car missing him and hitting little Adrian. The child was pronounced you know what at the hospital. Finley fled the scene, fled the area. He was later found hiding at the back of a gas station in Duncan's Trelawny. Under caution, he admitted to the knockings and clappings and lamented that Adrian was not the intended target. And funnily, both the victim and the perpetrator of the crime are related. So it was a family dispute that led to the knockings and clappings of the driver of the vehicle who drove off, of course, and the fatal can hit the little one and took his life. Really, really sad. Now I hope that on March 11 of this year, when you're sentenced, may the judge have no discretion on you and treat with you in the same fashion that you did when you fired indiscriminately so and took the life of an innocent 2-year-old. People need to understand that we need to find more amicable ways to settle our disputes instead of running for a firearm and trying to take one's life over sometimes something that is of a simple nature that could have been talked over. People need to understand that there is consequences to be paid for their actions. Yeah, man. So anyway, make we continue. Now on your screen is a list of criminal elements deemed to be wanted by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Now the first person on that list has since been identified as Glendon Amos, aka Bull. Now Bull is wanted for a series of crimes to include that of murder. So if anyone know the whereabouts about Glendon Amos aka Bull, please alert the Spanish Town Police. The next man presently on your screen identified as Peter Davis aka Devil's Man or Devils is said to be wanted also for knockings and clappings resulting in the loss of life of some people. It is said that he frequents the Penn district in Riverside and also West Prospect and Bagwalk in St. Catherine. If seen, link up the Spanish Town Police or the Linstead Police. The next man present on your screen has since been identified as Javier Johnson, otherwise known as J Bless. Well, J Bless, you're not so blessed in the morning, you're more like J Curse. because you're charged with a hold on and take use a little grapist. Yeah, man. And we not really too like them type of person there. The hold on and take business, we not depend that with you. So right now you're wanted by the police. It is said that the rapist, J. Curse, frequents the Prospects area and land settlement area. He also frequents Port Antonio in Portland. Now, if anyone knows the whereabouts of J. Curse, Javier Johnson, aka J. Curse, please alert the police. And we also have 2 females that have made the list. The first person presently on your screen is an elder identified as Carol Taylor. Carol Taylor is said to be wanted for obtaining money by means of false pretense. Meaning, say boy, she trick somebody and take a piece of food off of them. So basically, somebody get chopped and she's wanted for that. So if anyone knows the whereabouts of this female presently on your screen identified as Carol Taylor, tell her that the Port Antonio CIB police need to have a word with her. And last but most definitely not the least, on your screen is a female identified as Sherika Brown. It is said that she's wanted for a simple larceny. It is what we call a petty thief in a Jamaica. Now, Sherika frequents the general Montego Bay City. She's from the parish of St. James. If seen, please alert the Freeport police. Or just make Sherika know, say, yo, just turn over yourself to the nearest police station to avoid anything further. Yeah, man. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscasts. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.